Chris Finch absolutely lost it Friday night, and it took 4 Minnesota Timberwolves staffers to physically hold him back from going after an official. The sixth-year head coach was ejected less than 6 minutes into Minnesota's eventual 112-107 victory over Oklahoma City, but not before delivering a profanity-laced tirade that had the home crowd on their feet. The sequence that set Finch off began with Anthony Edwards driving for a layup with no whistle despite apparent contact. Moments later, Julius Randle grabbed an offensive rebound and was immediately stripped, again with no call. That's when Finch had seen enough. He threw his hands up in frustration, then drifted onto the court as Oklahoma City pushed the ball up the floor. Play was whistled dead because Finch continued walking toward the official, getting right up in his face to voice his discontent. While the broadcast showed Edwards arguing with another official, Finch could be seen in the background still absolutely irate about the situation. Then came the ejection, and that's when things escalated. Instead of heading toward the bench and eventually to the locker room, Finch reversed course and charged back toward the official. He was running his mouth and pointing his finger while 4 Wolves staffers physically restrained him, trying to prevent the situation from getting worse. The Minnesota crowd ate it up. As Finch finally made his way to the locker room, cheers erupted throughout the arena from fans equally upset with the officiating. They had their coach's back, appreciating his willingness to stand up for his players, even if it meant an early exit. The context matters here. Oklahoma City, the reigning NBA champions, has drawn criticism throughout their remarkable run for receiving favorable whistles. The Thunder fell to 25 wins and 3 losses with this defeat, but they entered Friday night with an average margin of victory of 16.9 points, by far the best in the NBA this season. That mark would be the best of all time if they maintain it. Minnesota and Oklahoma City have history. The Thunder defeated the Timberwolves in last season's Western Conference Finals, making this regular season matchup carry extra weight. Finch clearly wasn't going to let questionable calls go unanswered, especially against a team that's dominated the league this year. What made Finch's ejection even more remarkable was how early it happened. Most coaches who get tossed do so after building frustration over multiple quarters. Finch went from 0 to ejected in less than 6 minutes, showing just how egregious he felt those no calls were. His players responded. Despite losing their head coach before the first quarter even ended, Minnesota controlled most of the second half and closed out the victory. Anthony Edwards hit the game-winning three-pointer with 39 seconds left, then blocked and stole the ball from reigning MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander on consecutive possessions to seal it. The win proved Minnesota could handle adversity and execute without their coach on the sideline. Assistant coaches stepped up, players stayed focused, and the game plan held together despite the chaotic start. For Finch, the ejection and subsequent outburst will likely result in a fine from the league, but he sent a clear message to his team that he'll fight for them, even if it costs him personally. That kind of passion resonates in locker rooms and builds trust between coaches and players. The officials won't forget this moment either, which could complicate future interactions.